Hi there, good afternoon, how's it going? Today is Sunday, October 26th, 2025, currently 80 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 27 degrees Celsius, and I am back in amazing Rishikesh, India, on the Ganges or Ganga River and in the foothills of the Himalaya mountains. So there you have the Lakshman Jhula Bridge, or rather bridges, two of them. So the original one, which is a little bit further away, I guess was getting old and unsafe, and so they decided to build a new one. And so that's what you can see there. Hello, how are you doing? No, thank you. And so a few years ago they blocked off the bridge so nobody could walk over it, and began construction on a new one. That has been ongoing for many years now. The past two times I think that I've been to Rishikesh, it has been closed. The bridge closed and the other one unfinished, and then you can take this little boat across the river here. And so before coming this time, then I had heard that the new bridge was finally open to people walking over it. Also motorbikes can go across it. But when I arrived, I discovered that it wasn't open, and eventually asked around and discovered that apparently there was a real tragedy in which a man who was apparently drunk was walking across the bridge at night and fell through a hole or something like that and died. I guess maybe fell in the river and couldn't swim. A lot of Indians can't swim. So very sad, and then as a result of that they closed it back up again, and I guess we'll get the holes filled up hopefully and fully complete the bridge so that it is in fact safe. So I am staying on this side of the river. The town of Rishikesh is a few miles downstream on the other side of the river, and so this is my 16th time to India. Arrived 4 days ago, coming from Bali, Indonesia. Hello, no thanks. And I've been to Rishikesh many times. It was actually my first destination in India after flying into Delhi back in October of 1999. So now October of 2025, 26 years of visiting both India and Rishikesh. I've lost track of how many times I've actually been to Rishikesh. I haven't come here every time that I have come to India, but I've come here multiple times on some of the trips that I've been in India, and so it's probably around the same amount, 10 to 20 times that I've been to Rishikesh, and it very well could be the place in the world where I have spent the most amount of time outside of the US or Canada. Can't think of anywhere else that would rival it. I've certainly spent a number of months, not sure how long, but anyways, definitely one of my favorite places. It is a good place to relax, enjoy the amazing cafes and restaurants with all kinds of food, great Indian food of course, but then last night I had enchiladas, and then there's Israeli food and Chinese and great fruit salads and all kinds of stuff for breakfast, and classic cafes with fancy coffees and cheesecake as I showed there. And then it is considered to be the yoga capital of the world. Various holy men came here, I believe in the early 20th century, and established ashrams, and so it became a spiritual destination. And then the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who created the transcendental meditation technique, came here in I think the early 1960s and established his own ashram. And then the Beatles came here to visit the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi in 1968, stayed here for a couple of months, and wrote many of the songs for the White Album and practiced yoga and meditation here. And so in large part because of the Beatles coming here, then it became a world famous destination for yoga and meditation and Hindu spiritual practices, as well as just a traveler's destination in general. So I realize that this will be kind of a repeat video for many of you who have seen my past dozens of videos filmed here in Rishikesh, or other people's videos, since it is a popular Western tourist destination. But here I am, and here I will be for another at least 4 days. I've been here the past 4 nights. I was in another hotel for 3 nights and then changed rooms and booked 5 nights there. And so I really have no idea where I'm going next after here, whether to explore further in India or... Hello.
Hi.
Hello, how's it going? Possibly catch a flight to another country. Very likely see more of India, but I'm just not sure yet. So I need to tell the story of the journey from... Hello, namaste. No. Bali, Indonesia to here, but let's hold off on that. It's kind of an interesting story, especially in terms of my spontaneous travel style, because this was a really spontaneous, unknown one. But I wanted to head down and show the bridge, or bridges, up close, and then turn around and do the classic walk from here down to the other bridge, south down the Ganges River, the Ram Jula, and show the whole scene along the way, which is really interesting and a very nice, relaxing, enjoyable walk. Hello, man.
I wait for you. Where are you going now?
I'm going to the bridge.
Yes.
It's still closed, yeah?
Now it is closed, not working.
Yes, I heard a guy falls from the bridge
Yes.
and died, and so they closed.
No. You, Western people, you go, then you go to video, you go video.
Yeah, I'm making a video today of Rishikesh.
Rishikesh, okay,
Yeah.
enjoying.
Yeah.
Don't worry, happy for I they giving to blessing to you.
Okay, thank you. Namaste, Baba. See ya. So I have been seeing that sadhu around Rishikesh for a good 15 years or so. Maybe the first time back in 2010 I came here. We ended up talking that one time and then recognize each other whenever I come back. He is a really nice guy, speaks okay English, doesn't always ask for money. Sometimes he does. I'm fine with giving him a few rupees. But really genuine guy. So he just arrived here himself a few days ago. Coming from Delhi, I ran into him yesterday and was talking with him. And so he was down in Delhi. He mentioned his sister lives there. So maybe he's from Delhi originally. Anyways, getting close to the bridge here. And so it's really a shame that it's been closed, because that is part of the scene, is walking over the bridge, seeing all the monkeys, and also the convenience of being able to easily get over there to the other side. There are other cool restaurants over there, and also just to arrive here and leave, that is the best way. But taking the boat is just kind of more of a inconvenience. You have to walk down there and wait and pay for the boat, and you know, it still works, but it's more of a atmospheric scene around here when the bridge is functional, and then you get the nice views from the bridge looking down the river and up towards the foothills, or you can get a great view from up there. You can go up top of that. So there you go, the new bridge. Maybe it will be done the next time I come back. It is quite a project by the looks of these huge pieces of a statue or whatever. And so there is the old bridge there. And then you can walk on up that way, a nice walk, and you leave behind all the restaurants, hotels, and everything, and then it becomes kind of jungle-ish. There's a walk to a waterfall. So now, time to head this way and start the walk to the Ramjula Bridge. So here we go. A nice day with perfect weather here. Warm in the day, cool in the evening. So that's a nice break from the humidity of the tropics, in which it never cools down. So I've been enjoying the cooler evenings. And always fun to come back here, revisit, explore around, and soak up the spiritual atmosphere of Rishikesh. So we have a local musician here. Okay, now he's walking away, trying to give him some money. Namaste ji. All right, gonna give her 50 rupees as well, which is like 75 cents or something. A swastika, and yes, it is called a swastika in India. Now, when I was in Bali, I showed a swastika in one of my videos because Bali is also Hindu, and there were a few comments from people who were confused and didn't understand that it is an ancient Hindu symbol, which of course the Nazis stole and utilized, and so many people in the West associate the swastika with Nazism, but that was one decade in thousands and thousands of years of the history of this symbol, which is a positive symbol within the Hindu tradition and beyond. So I believe that the oldest known swastika was found in Ukraine like 7,000 years ago. It was found sometime in the past century or whatever, but 7,000-year-old swastika in Ukraine, a long ways away from India, and I saw one at a Roman site in Morocco amongst a bunch of other symbols, and so it has a very old and wide presence in various cultures, and it is a symbol of goodness. So just because the Nazis used it didn't mean that the Indians were going to stop using it because of that, 10-year terrible phase of history. Anyway, so this is kind of the end of the Laxmanjula area as far as the shops, and then there is this nice walk in which I will get away from the noisy street here, and it will get quieter as I walk along the Ganges or Ganga River. There you can see daily drop-in yoga classes. And so as I walk along, then I wanted to tell the story of the journey getting here from Bali. So in my last video on Sumba Island, Sumba is an island of Indonesia about an hour east by flight from Bali, and so I went there for a few days and then wasn't sure what I was doing after that. And so as I mentioned in a previous video, then I had a flight booked from Sumba back to Bali because I had to fly back there, and then from there I would have many options of flights to catch all around the world. And so I'll tell you the 4 places that I was considering to go next after Bali. They were Rishikesh here and India in general, Nepal, and go do the Everest Base Camp trek, Japan, and South Korea. So I was looking at various flights to all those places. Now, there weren't cheap flights to Japan, so I probably wouldn't have gone straight there. But there was a great flight direct from Bali Denpasar Airport to Seoul, South Korea for I think around $250 at 11 p.m. on the same day that I had my flight from Sumba to Bali. And so that flight was landing around 5 in the evening, and then this flight to Seoul, South Korea that night at 11 p.m. And so I was seriously considering that, and then also really considering the Everest Base Camp trek. Now is the optimum trekking time, and I really want to do that trek. And then was also considering coming here just to relax, and also the weather was perfect, as you can see. So I knew that South Korea would be more interesting for people, and I really want to see more of it, since I've only been to Seoul and Jeju Island and the DMZ. And I want to see Busan and other places in South Korea, and then would love to go back and see more of Japan. So long story short, obviously my decision was to come to Rishikesh and basically just have some chill out time. I haven't filmed for 4 or 5 days, and not sure how much more I will film here, since what else can I do after this day of exploring Rishikesh other than, show more of Rishikesh, which I've already shown tons of times. But if I leave in 4 days, then I should end up somewhere new. So those other 3 places are then still an option for the future. But I just could not make up my mind on that day of the flight, and so I caught the flight to Bali, still having not booked something and really on the fence about where to go. So I landed in Bali and got my backpack and was still just really undecided. And so I went to a restaurant there in the airport and got Wi-Fi and started checking flights and was planning to catch something that evening, but decided not to go for the overnight flight to Korea that night. And then was checking flights to Rishikesh, and I really wanted to fly into Dehradun, which is just a 30-minute drive away, rather than Delhi, and then having to deal with Delhi and then take the train, you know, 5-6 hour train ride, and then a bus from Haridwar. Let's get past the noise here. So I was checking flights, but there were no more direct flights from Bali to Delhi, and I knew that I would have to fly into Delhi and then catch another flight to Dehradun. So being at that point like 6 in the evening, there were no more direct flights to Delhi available. So I searched for the next day, and there was a flight at 10 in the morning direct Bali to Delhi. And so I searched for Bali to Dehradun, and it found that direct flight to Delhi and then another one to Dehradun. So 10 a.m. flight Bali to Delhi, and then a couple hours layover in Dehradun, and then arrived in Dehradun around, I think, 7 something in the evening. That was about $400 for both of those tickets. So decent deal. And then caught a taxi from there. Over here. Oh, no thank you. I'm enjoying the walk. I'm here to do a walk, so. I wonder if that might be the guy that gave me a ride actually that night, because I was expecting to walk over the Lakshmanjula Bridge, the one that I showed that is now closed, because I'd heard that it was open to pedestrians. And then my taxi driver told me that it was closed, and so I thought maybe he had old information from before it opened back up. But to be on the safe side, it said drop me off at Ramjula down here where I'm walking to. And then do the same walk that I'm doing right now. And so somewhere along here, then a guy on a motorbike came along and offered me a ride along with my, you know, stuff, big backpack. And so I caught a ride with him. And that guy kind of looked familiar, so that might have been him. Maybe that's why he turned around and came back to me, because he recognized me from that evening. Anyways, so there you go. That is the journey to Rishikesh. So let's get some nice views of the Ganges, and then you get to the other busy area down here by the other bridge. All right, let's see if we can get to the river this way, get some close-up views, see the nice sandy beaches. Yeah, all right, here we go. So people think of the Ganges River and assume it's really, really polluted, which is very true. But it depends a lot on where along the river you are, because here there are no cities upstream. There are towns, but it is coming out of the Himalaya mountains, and it hasn't passed major cities in which lots of garbage and waste and everything is getting dumped into it. I'm sure it's not, you know, perfectly clean. You certainly don't want to drink it, but you can see not a speck of garbage in it, nothing floating in it, and so it is quite clean. And you can swim. It is very, very cold because it is coming from a glacier and hasn't had the chance to warm up much, but it is very, very refreshing to take a dip in it. So there you can see, nice sandy little point there, and then here, look at the sand. It is like just perfect beach sand. And then there's much more beach up here. So Rishikesh is actually somewhere that you can come here to lay on the beach, get a tan, take a swim, and go river rafting. Tons of boats in the water now. And there is the Ramjula Bridge, built in the 80s. Today is a Sunday, so it's probably a little busier than usual being the weekend. Rishikesh is a popular place in general, especially at this time of year. So there are two different kinds of monkeys here in Rishikesh. These are the langur monkeys, the gray ones. And then there are the rhesus monkeys, the orange ones. Maybe we'll see one of those later, but here, lots of langur monkeys. There's the Ramjula Bridge. So apparently the rhesus monkeys are the more aggressive ones that will try to steal stuff. The langurs are a little mellower. And so from here you can walk over the bridge and then get to the main road within 10 minutes or so. And from there catch a rickshaw or shared tempo or whatever. Down to the town of Rishikesh, which is a few miles away. So the area where I started the video is where most of the foreign tourists stay now. There are hotels down here as well. It is more popular with Indians, but this is where I stayed my first time. And in fact, my first time here, there was almost nothing up at Laxmanjula. The whole scene was down here. So I want to stop by here really quick and show the Chotiwala restaurants, although the Chotiwala is missing. He's always sitting here. There's another one up here. So there are two restaurants, both called Chotiwala. And they both have Chotiwala, I guess, is the guy's name. Sitting in front of it to attract business. So I saw the other Chotiwala over there the last couple of days, and I recognized him. I don't recognize this one. That is not a job I envy. To spend all day just sitting in front of a restaurant. But it's easy at least. All right, so from here, then another nice walk along here, although as you can see, very busy, especially today. So because it is so busy, I'm going to put the backpack on the front just to be on the safe side in these crowds. Unlikely anything gets pickpocketed, especially in a spiritual town, but you never know. So you have lots of shops, travel offices, street food, samosa, ice cream, chai, coffee, lassi. And there is another new bridge down here, a few years old now. I think it was opened in 2020. And so that gives easier access to get over to this side. And here you have the Parmarth Nikatan Ashram. So annoying when they just hold down on the horn like that. I mean, the honking is annoying in general, but there should be two different horns on the motorbikes. One for when you're out on the street and honking at other motorists, and another quieter, softer one for when you're honking at pedestrians, because they're just so loud. That's just my 2 cents anyway. It would improve India. What would really improve it is if they just stopped. Save the horn for emergencies. Anyways, here's this nice sort of partially covered area with more typical Indian dhabas, simple restaurants serving mostly just Indian food. But there you can see, cafe beyond just coffee. And that is sort of the end of this area as far as restaurants and shops. Up ahead on the right is where the Aarti ceremony happens every evening on the Ganga. Spiritual ceremony in which they put the little leaf bowls with the candles and the flowers in the water, and there's music and chanting. One, two, three, four, 5 people on a motorbike. That's getting close to a record. And so there you can see the Shiva statue that was swept downstream in a flood, I think twice, maybe more than twice, and then was eventually found again. Hanuman. Okay, let's complete the bridges and walk down to the final bridge, the new one down here, just another 5-minute walk or so. So there is the new bridge, and this is a whole scene that did not exist before. There was almost nothing down here. After you left behind the Arti ceremony area, then it got really quiet, and there was almost nobody down here. But then because of the bridge, then this has become a whole food stall scene and more. And then there is the Beatles ashram further down this way. Not going to go there today, but we'll see. Maybe I'll make it down there again. I've already made previous videos there, but as I mentioned, the Beatles came here in 1968 and they stayed at the ashram, which the Maharishi had built in the early 60s, and then it was abandoned in the 1990s, and the jungle took over, and it was just closed, except you could bribe the security guard and get in. That's what I did the first time. I went there in, I think, 2012, and then they officially opened it to the public, and now you pay a fee to go in and explore, and it's really, really fascinating. It's a whole complex of many different buildings, these weird looking meditation chambers and multi-level buildings that you can go up to the top of. It's really one of the most interesting places to see in Rishikesh and really in the world. It's quite unique. All right, let's finish things up at the bridge here, which I think was built in 2020, so about 5 years old. This one has a different design. It was a great idea. So it is for motorbikes on the sides and then pedestrians in the middle, so that you don't have the motorbikes trying to weave through the pedestrians. So that was a good idea. All right. That is going to do it. All right. Not sure what's happening next. If I'll do more filming in Rishikesh, maybe if I do some sort of a day trip, go for a hike or whatever, get out of the town. But that basically does it for showing the scene once again here in Rishikesh on the Ganga River. So there you go, a whole explanation of the Beatles coming here, crossing Abbey Road. And then there they are. Ringo, Paul, George, John, Maharishi. All right, very likely more coming from India. Namaste. So here's the other chotiwala. Namaste ji.
Namaste ji.
Popping in here to get a sweet lassi. Hello. Can I have one sweet lassi?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And there we go, a sweet lassi, a tasty yogurt drink.